Yeah.
I decided to look at the yearbook to catch up on some memories. That's when I found him. One of the janitors was in the background of a sports picture.
Oh!
As soon as cove in front of me, with another small opening to the left.
Man.
As I entered the cave, a certain
Entered.
smell hit me.
Entered the
I don't
cave.
know how to explain it.
Oh my God!
It's an evil world we live in.
What's good, my name is ReboundLeader. Welcome back with another video. It has been a while, guys. So, 3 scary, true, remote places, horror stories. Bro, we already know these middle of nowhere areas. Remote places. You're in the middle of nowhere. Look at that. You have a normal small home with a whole bunch of forest. I don't know how people do it, bro. I don't know how people can live like this. Where is your security? Yo. Oh, man. GG's.
Back in high school, my friends and I had a hangout spot like no other. It was this baseball field behind the abandoned grade school. We always thought that we'd get there one day and there'd be a construction crew plowing the whole place down, but they never came. At least not when we were kids. We all thought it was because our town was just too damn poor to do it, which is probably true, but it's not like it's a good real estate location either. It was built right along the woods, far away from most of the town. It was essentially in the middle of nowhere, just like the rest of our town. The reason we enjoyed going there so much was because no one else did. People would occasionally break into the school and do a little graffiti here and there. Sometimes the cops would show up, but they never came to the baseball field. It was a safe haven for the friend group, and that was really important because a lot of my friends didn't exactly have the best home lives, especially one of them, Tim. His mom would always call the cops on him for whatever reason she could possibly conjure up that day.
What? What the heck? What type of mother is that? That you actively want to press charges and call the cops on your son for anything? Bro, what the heck is with these parents?
Yet when we were at the field,
crazy.
there was nothing they could do. We spent a lot of summer nights sitting along the rusted out bleachers, smoking and talking about God knows what to pass the time. I loved that place. We all did. Although, even before it happened, there was this one thing that always creeped me out about the place. There was an old lamplight right along the bleachers that somehow still worked. The town must have forgotten about that too. It was one of those lights that emitted an orange hue, and since it was the only light there, we'd be shrouded in it. It didn't really light up a whole lot either. Whenever I'd get too high, I'd look off into the surrounding woods that was masked in pure darkness. I'd think about how someone or something could easily see us and we'd have no idea.
Bruh.
It'd really get on my nerves.
You would've
But
been
then
screwed.
eventually someone would tell a joke or get my attention and I'd forget about that thought. For a little bit at least. I wonder how many times they watched us. I'll never know. During the beginning of summer, one night my friend Johnny and I were going up to the field. I must have left before he did, because by the time I got there, his car was nowhere to be seen. I decided to get a head start and go off to the field alone.
Alright.
This was pretty frowned upon in our group. Even though we all liked to think we were tough, walking through a bit of woods alone at night wasn't in our repertoire.
No, it's not smart either. So why are you doing it? Why aren't you waiting for your friend? Crazy. Matter of fact, why are you even there in the first place just to get high or do whatever? What the heck is this, man? This is your so-called fun?
I always kind of enjoyed the thrill, though. I went on past the school and through the woods to reach the field.
The thrill.
I waited another 10 minutes or so, but he hadn't shown up, so I started to smoke.
Crazy.
Another 30 minutes passed and nothing.
Wow.
At this point, the thrill had worn off completely. I decided to walk back to my car.
Man said every man for
I ended up
themselves.
jogging because of how uncomfortable I felt.
Crazy.
I texted him a couple of times, yet he never answered.
That's
So
crazy.
I spent another 10 minutes in my car and then just drove home. When I woke up, I saw that he never texted back. I was a little pissed off, but
That's crazy. What happened? This man got bodied.
I didn't think much of it.
What the heck?
Until later in the day, when my mom asked me if I'd seen Johnny recently. I hit up all our friends, but they knew as much as me. The last time we all saw him was when we were at the field 2 nights ago.
Crazy.
A day passed, then another. Soon enough, everyone in town knew. Search parties started running rampant. My friends and I even went on a few ourselves.
Wow.
But we never found him.
That's
No
crazy.
one did. To this day, the body was never recovered.
Wow.
At the time, I tried to make myself believe that he simply ran away.
That's
He was an
crazy.
adventurous kid. He'd talk about wanting to travel the world all the time. How this town made him feel claustrophobic.
Wow.
But deep down, I knew that he wouldn't leave like that.
That's
He would have at
crazy.
least left us a note. Probably on the bleachers where no one else would find it. After about a month, I went back to the field. This time, I went alone. I was so angry at the world that I didn't care if I got mauled by some sort of animals lingering in the woods.
Wow.
But just as I got to the end of the woods path, I noticed there were people on the bleachers. For a second, I thought it was just my friends, considering we had never seen anyone else there before.
Uh-oh.
But they weren't.
Uh-oh.
I never saw these people before in my life. 3 of them were on the bleachers, sitting completely motionless. They looked like statues, but they weren't the ones that creeped me out.
Wow.
There was another. He was dancing and skipping around. It made me uncomfortable at how happy he was.
What the
It
heck?
wasn't an ordinary type of happiness. At the time, I figured he must have been on Molly.
Wait.
Now I just think he's a damn psycho.
What the heck was that?
Worst of all, he looked familiar. I couldn't pinpoint him though. It's like seeing an unfamiliar face in a dream. I knew that I had seen him before.
You
but
probably
I
saw
just-
him when he was looking at you in the forest, when you were there alone, in the dark. Like, come on, bro.
Had
You
no
should not
idea
have gone
where.
back by yourself.
I couldn't handle it. It was
Come
just
on.
so damn strange. So I tried to get out of there as quietly and quickly as I could. Luckily, they didn't follow. At least, I don't think they did. When I got back to my car, my first thought was to hightail it out of there, but I didn't follow that instinct. Instead, I drove around the school lot. In the back corner of the parking lot, I saw a car. I knew the model. It was the same one Johnny drove. As I
Wow.
spotted it, the lights turned on. I abruptly reversed and got the hell out of there.
Wow.
As summer went on, I couldn't get them out of my head.
Oh my
Told all of
god.
my friends about it, and they agreed it was
They probably bodied him and took his vehicle. Oh, that's crazy. Call the Bro, get the police involved. What the heck are you doing?
weird, but they didn't think much of it. I even stopped going to the field because of them.
Wow.
On a late July day, I was feeling pretty nostalgic and sad thinking about Johnny. I
Yeah.
decided to look at the yearbook to catch up on some memories. That's when I found him. One of the janitors was in the background of a sports picture.
Oh!
As soon as I turned the page, I knew it was him.
It's the
Face, the
janitor!
hair. It was the dancing man. It had to be.
Oh my
Couldn't
gosh.
believe it. I told all my friends about it, but they didn't know what to do.
Wow.
Eventually, I went to the cops. I'm pretty sure they thought I was crazy, but they still did do a background check on the guy. At least that's what they told me. They couldn't find a thing.
Sure.
Even his social security card didn't lead anywhere.
Oh my
I
god.
attempted to do some research myself, but I couldn't find a thing.
That's crazy.
Man was a damn ghost. Near the end of the summer, I went back to the field with a few of my friends. I couldn't get the feeling that I was being watched out of my head.
Yeah.
Every time I looked into the abyss of the woods, I felt afraid. I longed for the feeling that I once had there, but I knew it
Crazy.
wasn't coming back.
Crazy.
This place was no longer a home to me. When I left that night, I never came back. Near the end of the summer, I was at a Dunkin' Donuts. It was early in the morning, so I was pretty groggy. Until I saw him. The dancing man, the janitor. He
Wow.
looked exactly like him. At first, I thought my mind was just playing tricks on me.
There's no
The
way.
longer I looked, the more convinced I became.
That's crazy.
Then he saw me and smiled. He hurried out of the store, and I followed him, but one of his buddies was parked curbside at the exit. He rushed in there and sped away before I could get to him.
That's
What I
crazy.
saw horrified me more than anything
Oh
else.
man.
The license plate of the car they were driving was the same as Johnny's. I knew it.
Bro, they bodied him. They bodied your boy. Oh. They bodied your boy, your longtime friend, your childhood friend. And they took his vehicle and they're still driving it. What? And you're telling me that these cops still can't find him, but you found him twice? The cops are not doing their jobs, bro. They're involved some way, somehow. That's so weird. Nah.
Because he had a unique plate, 4PAC207. It was the same car I had seen a month before.
Crazy.
Then it clicked. That was Johnny's car.
Crazy.
They got a paint job, so I didn't notice back then, but I should have.
A paint job?
I still beat myself up because of it. I never saw him again, or the car. Nowadays, it's all just a memory, one that I wish I could forget. Rest in peace, Johnny.
Oh man, R.I.P. Johnny, bro. That's so sad, man. This is why I say you don't do stuff like this. You don't do stuff like this, bro. You only have one life. What the heck?
It was the summer of 2024, and my three buddies, Jake, Sam, and Marcus and I were desperate for a break from our internship at the Kennedy Space Center. We'd been buried in rocket data for weeks, but as star geeks, we craved a night under a pristine sky. We pored over light pollution maps and Google Maps, zeroing in on a remote clearing deep in Tate's Hell State Forest, a swampy, desolate stretch of Florida's Panhandle.
Lord have mercy.
The name came from an old legend about Sebe Tate, a settler who vanished in the swamp in the 1800s, supposedly cursed. We brushed it off.
Oh, no.
Those stories were for kids.
Oh, really? Really? They're for kids, huh? So when something happens to you, it's not for kids no more, huh? Yeah.
We wanted stars.
We'll see.
Our safe haven was an Airbnb, a cozy cabin near Apalachicola, about 30 miles from the forest's edge.
Appalachia what?
After work that Friday, we piled into my Tesla Model Y and Marcus's Mustang,
What the
loaded
heck?
with blankets, snacks, and a telescope. No camping gear since we'd been sleeping back at the cabin. The 7-hour drive from the Space Center was grueling, and we hit the Airbnb late, dropping our bags and grabbing a quick snack before heading back out again. The final stretch into Tate's Hell was brutal. Narrow dirt trails twisting through dense pines and murky wetlands.
They call it Tate's Hell.
And
That's
the air thick with cicadas and the occasional splash of something in the water. With no cell service, we used walkie-talkies to stay connected between cars, with their crackles cutting through the dark. Around 2 a.m., we reached the clearing, tired and buzzing. The sky was unreal. The stars were blazing like they were close enough to grab. We spread out blankets, set up the telescope, and dove in.
That's a real
15
photo.
minutes
Crazy.
later, Sam's voice hissed over the walkie-talkie from the Mustang. He said,
Yo, you see that? Headlights.
My gut twisted.
What do you mean
We
headlights?
turned, and a faint glow crept along the trail we'd driven in on.
What the
Out
heck?
here, 40 miles from the nearest town, at 2 a.m. in a massive forest, nobody's just passing by.
Yeah.
Whoever was out there was trouble. Jake, in the Tesla with me, grabbed his walkie-talkie. Flash them, see what they do. I flicked the Tesla's headlights. 3 sharp bursts. An old pickup truck, rusted and battered, stopped about 100 yards off. No honk or wave or anything. Then we saw them, the shadowy figures stepping out.
Wow.
2 or 3, hard to tell in the glare.
2 or 3. 2 or 3 with weapons of mass destruction. 2 or 3 mans with weapons of mass destruction. You think they're gonna use it on you, bro? Old, rankly dankly, old rusted pickup truck. 3 mans coming out. 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, bro. Get in your car and haul it.
They just stood there staring.
Yeah,
That's
that's
when we heard
GG's.
faint voices,
GG's.
low and garbled, drifting through the swamp. Whispers we couldn't make out.
What?
This is messed up.
Marcus crackled over the radio. Sam sounded spooked.
This is crazy.
Voices. Nobody's out here at 2 a.m. for anything good.
I swung my flashlight, but the beam didn't reach,
Wow.
catching only shadows.
Wow.
Those whispers kept going, soft and sinister, making my skin crawl. Jake tried to stay cool. Maybe locals, but let's move, he said. We agreed over the
Locals.
walkie-talkies to find another spot, but we set a rule. If those lights showed up again, we were racing back to the Airbnb's safety. We turned off the main trail. Anyone following us was after us.
Real full of wow.
We sped a mile down a side trail, found another clearing, and set up fast. Just blankets and nerves. 5 minutes in, Marcus's voice cut through the walkie-talkie. It sounded urgent,
They're back.
he said.
Here we
My
go.
heart sank. Those
Here we
same
go.
headlights sliced through the dark.
Here we
Much
go.
Closer now. Then came a gut punch, an engine rev, like they were doing it as a threat.
Okay,
Sam
GG's.
said, "Get us out now."
GG's.
We scrambled into the cars. Jake and I in the Tesla, Marcus and Sam in the Mustang. I floored it, with the Tesla jolting over roots and branches underneath scraping like claws.
Crazy.
Those headlights stuck to us, high beams blinding in my rearview mirror. Jake was on the walkie-talkie saying, "Marcus, you good?" Marcus replied back,
Barely, they're right there.
"We were 40 miles from help. Just 4 young, basically defenseless interns. At 2 a.m.
With
a place
no
called
weapons.
Tate's Hell, you
Crazy.
don't meet good people." I pushed the Tesla to its limits with Marcus close in the Mustang. The trail veered in one direction, and for a second, as we turned, the headlights of the truck tailing us vanished. I prayed we'd lost them, but shortly after, they were back.
Of
Like
course.
they were toying with us, knowing we were trapped.
Yep.
We hit a fork, and I swerved left, hoping it led to the main road. The truck followed. Finally, after much more panic and stress, the dirt turned to pavement, and a faded highway sign appeared ahead. I glanced back, expecting those headlights, but they were gone.
Phew.
Marcus's Mustang pulled
Wow.
up beside us, and we stopped on the shoulder, panting, just staring into the dark. All we heard in the forest now was just crickets and the crackle of our walkie-talkies. The drive back to the Airbnb was dead silent. We stumbled into the cabin, locking the door, but
Crazy.
even that safe haven felt unsafe after what we'd faced.
Boy, and you still want to go back to this messed up, dangerous cabin in the middle of nowhere. Yo, they know where you live. You're screwed. You're done.
Who were they?
You are done.
We considered some possibilities, like poachers or druggies running something shady, or something tied to those voices in the old tales of Tate's Hell. At 2 a.m. in a place like that, nobody's out for a good time.
It's called Tate's Hell, too.
The way they
That's
watched
crazy.
us, the way
That's
they
nuts.
chased us without even rushing, it wasn't a prank. It felt like they wanted us to be afraid.
Yeah.
We never went back. We don't talk about it. Not at the Space Center, not anywhere. But when I'm driving those lonely Florida roads at night, I think just a little part of me has permanently become more hyper-aware.
Nuts. Lord have mercy.
In December 2023, I took a 3-week-long vacation to Japan.
Oh, that's
My family
fire.
owns a hotel near the
That is fire. I need to do that, man. 3-week vacation to Japan. Yep. Yes, sir. I need to do that.
small mountain
That's
town
on my
of
list.
Kaga Onsen in the west of Japan.
That's my list.
It was a large Japanese inn, also known as ryokan, built into the side of the hill next to the Daishoji River.
Daishoji.
The area surrounding the hotel was inhabited for at least 2 millennia, and it was considered a sacred place. My father had told me a long while back that when the hotel was being constructed, the builders had found a couple of old stone blocks and pillars at the site.
Wow.
Apparently, there was some sort of shrine that had been built there around the 9th century.
Sheesh.
The last time I stayed in that hotel was over 15 years ago, so I was kind of interested in reliving the experience of staying there. As well as that, I really like exploring, and remembering the story that my father told me, I decided to go and do some off-trail hiking in the forest below the hotel, hopefully finding any traces of the ancient ruins which my father mentioned. As soon as I arrived at the nearby city of Kanazawa, I got a car at the rental next to the train station and drove up to the hotel. It was snowing heavily, and traffic was terrible. The ride was supposed to take around an hour, but instead it took 2 hours. I arrived at the hotel around 8, and I let myself in. The hotel was basically vacant in December, and tourists don't usually go to this part of Japan in the winter.
Yep.
There was no staff at all in the hotel. I found myself being the only person in the hotel. The feeling was quite surreal.
That's
just
crazy.
being alone in such a building in the middle of nowhere.
That is
I
weird.
grabbed one of the keys behind the counter, let myself into one of the suites, and slept there for the night. The next day, I went into the forest below the hotel.
You can do that? What the frick?
The snow was quite deep, up
What
to
the
my
heck?
ankles, and trudging down rough terrain with boots was absolute hell. I must have walked far enough into the forest to lose my sense of direction. I checked my phone, but there was no signal at all,
GG, why would you
I'd been
do
walking
this?
for around an hour and didn't know where I was.
What the heck would you be
I
doing
was
this?
surrounded by trees on all sides, and directly in front of me was a large hill. I thought it would be good if I climbed to the summit so I could get a better vantage point to possibly locate any form of civilization. The ascent was very tough, the sides of the hill being quite steep and rocky. However, off to the left, I noticed what looked like the remnants of a path. I slowly traversed my way towards the path. It was a dirt path that wound its way up towards the summit of the hill. The path was slightly overgrown with dead branches blocking the way up, but soon enough, I managed to reach my way to the top. However, I noticed that soon enough, the path was gone. It just ended. I looked around the hill and noticed a small cavity in the hillside above the path, hidden in the vegetation, maybe 5 meters away from the path. I climbed up and found myself standing in front of the entrance to a small cave.
What?
A bit of mud had washed into the cave.
Yeah, but bro, mind your own business. Let's go back down. Let's go another direction. Nope, someone lives there. Mind your own business.
But the opening was large
You can't
enough
call
for me
the
to
police
fit my
here.
body through.
You can't call the
I had
police
a
here.
small flashlight on me, and I shone it into the opening.
Wow.
I could see a small alcove in front of me, with another small opening to the left.
Man.
As I entered the cave, a
Entered?
certain smell hit me.
Entered the
I don't
cave.
know how to explain it.
Oh my God!
But the best way to describe it is that it smelled like an animal at the zoo.
No, really?
The alcove in front of me was bare, except
Oh.
for a large rectangular block of stone placed right in the middle. As I walked deeper into the cave,
You must
I
be
found
crazy.
myself in a large stone chamber. There were 2 other side tunnels that ran from this chamber.
You
but I
are
didn't explore
insane,
them.
buddy.
There was yet another rectangular stone block, but this time it was on the far side of the chamber and looked to be hollow. I got up close to the block, and to my utter shock, there looked to be human bones inside the block.
Wow.
Surrounding the bones was a long piece of steel and a bunch of old bronze coins.
Wow.
Ones with a square hole in the center. I just stood there in a mix of utter shock and disbelief.
Oh my
I
gosh.
reached down and picked up one of the coins.
Why would you do that? It is cursed. It is cursed. Congratulations. You deserve to die at this point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You deserve to get clucked up. You deserve to get bodied. How the heck are you still investigating? Someone lives there. You are its next meal. Your bones will be in there.
You're a victim.
Do you not understand the situation you're at? Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I did it. Just instinct, I guess. The
Instinct?
coin was old and corroded.
You
but
must
some
be brain
characteristics
dead.
were visible on it. Before I could examine it closely, I heard a loud crash come from deep within one of the side tunnels.
Wow.
I quickly pointed my flashlight towards
Don't!
the origin of the sound.
Run.
The animalistic scent got stronger, making
Run!
the air feel toxic. I, for some reason, grabbed the long piece of steel resting amongst the bones and held it in front of me with one hand as a weapon. The
Wow.
light of my flashlight made it easier for me to see that the long piece of steel looked to be the remnants of a long blade. I started backing away towards the entrance. The smell was different this time. I could smell smoke under that overwhelming stench.
Wow.
I could hear a rhythmic thumping originating from deep within the tunnel.
Yeah,
It
someone's
sounded like someone banging on a drum. That's the point where I lost it. I
GG's.
ran out of the cave, back out
Demons.
towards the opening. As I ran out, I swear that I felt the entire cave vibrate and shake. I jumped out of the entrance onto the slope below and tumbled onto the snowy ground. I had dropped the blade on the snowy ground, but I didn't care to pick it up.
Crazy.
I kept on running and running down the slope.
That was probably your
crashing
only
through
weapon.
dead twigs and branches. I ran and ran until I heard the sound of a car driving past in the distance.
What?
I soon found myself on the side of the road. I let out a sigh of relief as I collapsed by the side of the road.
Oh, you're lucky.
I managed to flag down a passing car.
You are
The
so
driver was
lucky.
first reluctant to let me in, but after seeing how distressed I was, he did. Through some conversation with the driver, I found out that I was quite far from the hotel, around 4 miles.
Wow.
Soon enough, I arrived back at the hotel. I went back to my room, packed up everything, and got in my car. I didn't feel safe being the only person in the hotel. I drove back to Kanazawa, where I stayed for the night. This story has a follow-up, though. When the hotel was up and running in February,
Okay.
I got a text from my father. He told me that someone had broken into the hotel through one of the first floor windows.
Wow.
Surprisingly, nothing was damaged or stolen, except for the front door of my room, which was smashed wide open with some sort of blunt metal objects.
Crazy.
I don't know if this is connected to my experience.
That's crazy.
But I am definitely not going to be staying at that hotel, ever.
Nope. Nope. They hunted you down. They have your scent. They can find you anywhere. You're done. Oh my goodness. These stories were amazing. These stories were crazy. The second story and this story? Yeah. How the heck would you decide to just go into the woods? In freaking Japan, out of all places. Just cuz. You already know things be happening in them forests, in them woods. Let's not be playing games like this. Bro, things happen everywhere. You think it's not safe just in America? Around the world. Whole bunch of foolery. I feel like people love to put themselves into remote places on purpose and then deal with the consequences later. Those were the consequences. Don't be one of these people. Always bring mans with you if you even try. And if you even do it with mans, don't go to remote places. It is not worth your life. It's not worth your life. Obviously, if you're going to go to like one of those cabins with the family or whatever, but you better be bringing your whole entire family, not just 4 people. No. It better be more than 4. It better be 15. 15 mans minimum. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Peace.
You win. Perfect.